Hello and welcome to part 12 of me teaching you how to get better at a certain Roblox game. This time we have Waterloo at home. Now, you ask, well, netanelthegreat, how do I destroy every single enemy outpost? Or I should say fort. Well, in order to do that, first you need to know which classes to pick. So I'll have to review it. First off, Ranker. He has a musket, and he can shoot anybody. He's the most basic class, but I'll say kinda good. But he's only good at melee, range, kind of, if you know how to use Ranker properly. Flag Barrier. The guy is OP, because he's basically a human spawner that can spawn anyone if he holds the flag. So you can easily just maneuver across and basically spawn troops, unless he's been attacked by everybody else. Artillery. Very useful if you know how to use them. In order to know how to use them, you will need the access free cam, which I don't know which key to press, I don't remember, sorry about that, but I added it in and I'll say it in text. And then you should start aiming at the exact position where the fort is. And a bit of math calculations. It'll take you a bit of tries if you're not experienced, but that is okay. Because as soon as you are able to aim perfectly, you will do a lot of damage with it. Musician. He can play music and basically buff everyone. He is kind of recommended. Sharpshooter. It is the semi-better version of Ranker depending on who you ask. He does not have a bayonet and you will not be able to install a bayonet on it, but you can shoot anyone in the field regardless of the range. Almost. Very good for people who actually know how to shoot at the perfect position. Medic. He can put medical crates on the ground. Very useful for the coalition to use to then heal themselves in case they get damaged. Cavalry. Very useful if you don't want to die. And you can distract, which is good. Sapper. The most OP class in this game. He can build towers, ladders, musket crates. Anything that is supposed to be in a battle, he can build immediately. He needs to get material, and in order for him to get material, he needs to cut trees, because that perfectly makes sense. Except if for some reason you can start building rock walls, which then that makes no sense. But still, Sapper is the most OP class in the entire game. I recommend using it. Grenadier. He has a grenade, but the grenade is like not really great. You can't really deal a lot of damage and you can't aim properly with it. So I don't recommend this class. And lastly, the captain. The captain has a boat. With that boat, he can travel across anywhere he likes as long as it's on the water. Very useful if you're trying to flank or maybe the flag barrier dies. So, now onto the tactic strategy. You need 4 rankers, 2 flag barriers, 3 artilleries on the back firing, 2 musicians, 4 sharpshooters, 2 medics, 3 cavalry, 3 sappers, no grenadiers, and lastly 1 captain. This is going to be the perfect team. So what do you need 4 rankers? You can use it as a combat mechanic because he is very good at melee. Flag barrier. Because he can spawn units, he is very important and will easily just maneuver across and basically spawn troops, unless he's been attacked by everybody else, and thus be very much targeted. So in case one dies, the other can spawn him in. Artillery can shoot out the defenses without the need of the sappers doing it instead. Musician can give buff to the allies and of course gives morale. Sharpshooter can shoot anyone within the base as long as you see him. Medic can heal damaged troops in battle, which means he can basically heal the troops and not really worry about them dying. Cavalry will need to distract every single unit on it so that he takes the most damage. But he won't because of course it's very hard to hit a very fast object, which is what the cavalry is. Sapper can build ladders which everyone can get up on and invade the inner walls of the base. And lastly, the captain. If those 2 flag barriers do end up dying, it's not gonna really matter because the captain is there, and because you can spawn in the boat, you can still technically invade the base as long as it's there. So now, you move up, destroy the front walls. Now let's get to the great things about the Sapper. The Sapper can plant bear traps. Those bear traps are so OP. The reason to that is because you can put them on the doors, and because you can't really get rid of them unless you really try, which in that case is using a sword to just get rid of it. Every single person will step on it and will be forced to step on it, so he loses damage. For the first couple of times you put the bear traps there, nobody will suspect that you put the bear traps there, and so they step on it because they don't think that there is a bear trap there, because they're more focused on getting rid of the troops inside the base. So that's why it's so OP. And on top of that, of course, he can build ladders, and he can also build explosive barrels, which will damage the walls and any object that he wants. And on top of that, if the flag bearers are able to get into the base, you can lay siege on the capital automatically. And that means that nobody out of the enemy is going to spawn there. And also, you can deal a lot of damage when it's under siege. So that's how you can destroy the base, guaranteed.